Let's talk about the flipped classroom. In the traditional classroom model, the teacher spends the school day lecturing students and sends work assignments home for students to complete alone. In the flipped classroom, students watch instructional videos at home and come to class ready to practice what they've learned. Students are able to work together, learning from each other, with the teacher on hand to answer questions and guide the students as needed. This approach to teaching is transforming education in several ways. First, teachers are able to utilize classroom time more efficiently. Rather than lecturing and releasing, teachers are free to work with the students and answer those questions that inevitably come up while completing assignments. Secondly, students are able to watch lectures on their own time and at their own speed. This means that they can stop, rewind, pause, and play as needed in order for maximum retention. Finally, the flipped classroom improves things for the parent. Gone are the days of the confused parent attempting to help their child complete homework that they themselves do not understand. With teachers, students, and parents benefiting, the flipped classroom makes education brighter for all. As with everything new, there are several misconceptions about the flipped classroom. Misconception number one: it's all or nothing. Flipping a classroom does not mean flipping everything at once. It is possible, even preferable, to start with one subject and expand as desired. Give yourselves and your students time to adjust to a new way of teaching and learning. Misconception number two: it's just a fad. The flipped classroom is actually a concept that was first introduced in 2000 and became even more prevalent in 2007. Each new school year reveals more and more flipped classrooms around the country. It's not just another educational trend or buzzword. Misconception number three: computers will replace teachers in the flipped classroom. This is actually quite the opposite. Since students are watching lectures at home, classroom time is devoted to hands on work with students and teachers working together. Technology is still a large aspect, but the teacher remains the key to successful learning. Misconception number four: it only works for specific subjects. While it is true that some subjects, like math, lend themselves more easily to the flipped classroom model, almost all subjects, including science and history, can be incorporated. There is no reason to limit yourself to one subject. Misconception number five: it takes up too much time from teachers. A flipped classroom definitely means planning on the part of teachers, but it also frees up much of the classroom time. Additionally, as teachers become more proficient using technology, creating lectures and assignments will take up no more time than traditional lesson planning. So, how do you create the flipped classroom? For starters, lots of planning and preparation. You don't want to try flipping a classroom on a whim. It's important to have appropriate lectures lined up, whether you find existing ones to use or create your own. Secondly, collaborate. There may be other teachers in your school who want to try flipping also. Working together will improve your odds of success. Third, start small. Don't feel like you must flip every subject right off the bat. It is perfectly acceptable to start by flipping one lesson only and work your way up from there. Next, keep your lectures short, no more than 15 minutes. Just because your students are at home doesn't mean they have longer attention spans, more free time, or an increased desire to study. Also, it is important to communicate with your students and their parents. Explain the new plan and answer questions. They may not understand why you are flipping the classroom until you explain the benefits. Lastly, evaluate and revise your lessons as needed. Listen to your students and pay attention to assignments. Some students may not do as well as others at first. You may have to adjust your plan to ensure comprehension. As you can see, the flipped classroom is beneficial to teachers, students, and parents. It's a concept that is here to stay, and as we become more and more technologically advanced, the flipped classroom will simply become the classroom. Thanks for watching. Now get flipping.